Hey, hi, buddy. You know what? Your people are out there. I don't know if they can see you, though, the way the camera's angled, but that's all right. I see you. Hi, everybody. Hey, it's Robert Earl out here at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Educational Center in far west Texas with Cascade the Wonder Dog. Again, we all wonder what it is he does around here. And Sarah, the world's ugliest Chihuahua. You can't see her because she's about that tall, but she's out here. Anyway, to those of you that have tuned in from the keyword or just happen to come by and see this, welcome. You're invited to stay and listen to this vlog, but also, if it's the first time that you've seen any of my videos, please go to the main channel and pick out some that seem to cover things that are of interest to you, because this is kind of an update for those that have followed me and what Debbie and I have been doing the last, 10 years. I meant to look and see how long we've been on YouTube, and I didn't do that. It's something like 8 years, though, that I've been doing this. It's a long time, and it's moved real slow, and it's moved slow for a number of reasons, but the number one reason, of course, always is with almost all of us, it's money. Money, 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 money. But we're coming along, and I thought I'd give you an update. I'm here in the greenhouse in what will eventually be that 12,000 gallon water cistern, 11 or 12,000. And I'm here because I wanted to just show you, that's why you're angled up. We do have it completely blocked in and finished now. Now I have to get some great stuff and get around the outside and just kind of seal anything that's still open. And way up at the top here, I don't know how well you can see, but when you put the roof on, you've got your rafters that are going this way, and then your purlons that go this way. Then your steel attaches to the purlons. Well, what's happened, if you want to create a climate-conditioned room like this one, you've got a gap up there where the purlons elevate it from the rafters to the roof. And in my case, it's 1.5 inches because I use 2x4s. Pardon me. So, what I've been doing today is I've gone through, and in between every one of those 2x4s, I've put another little piece of 1x2. I've got a whole bunch of 1x2 someone gave me as firewood, and we were able to use quite a bit of it here. 1x2, you know, it's just little stuff like that, and you wouldn't think it was much, but when you add up everything I did here today in blocking this off, it was the same thing as blocking off a 30-inch window. A 30-inch window that was open into the greenhouse. And because of that, we had a little bit, just a little bit of damage to a couple of the plants. Now I'm going to get behind the camera and show you. But the bulk of what we've been doing right now has been out here in the greenhouse, of course, because I've been working on it. It's pretty close to done. I've got this corner here that I'm pointing at that I have to do quite a bit of work on. But right now it's very cold, and I'm very broke. Now, it just so happened that the broke and the cold happened at the same time, which was good because I'm able to do what I call piddly things, like this and some other things, removing nails from 2x4s, stuff like that. So that's what I've been up to. Those of you that have watched us fairly regularly and see the live stream, you saw how depressed, more angry than depressed I was when I did the live stream. And I am, and I still am. But the fact of the matter is, perhaps I'm getting, as I said in the live stream, I'm getting a little bit older, and it's a time when old people just aren't all that super tolerant of the very young or the young. Some are, some aren't. I wish I had the charisma of Bernie Sanders, but I don't. I don't have his age either yet, but I'll get there. But it was a bit upsetting to have a couple of not the best visitors come by, and to have us all of a sudden running really, really tight on money, and things are still breaking down. I can't believe how things are breaking down. So it's going to keep us that way, and I'm not telling you guys anything that you aren't seeing in your everyday life, so I won't dwell on it. However, I am leaving the donate button up there, right up there on the main channel, because to help us finish the place so that it can be here to educate and show people what you can do, I need help, and I'm going to need a lot of help. We need Portland cement. That's the biggest thing we need right now is Portland cement, and I need some great stuff. Regular grade stuff and the super expanding grade stuff. Those are the two things we need right now to get this going, and I'll show you what else I'm going to be working on. That needs dimensional lumber, but dimensional lumber is another game. Hopefully I'll come into some money shortly. I don't know how, but you always hope, you know, you never know. Hey, let me show you a couple of the things that I've got operational here in the greenhouse that are really going to help the greenhouse. So one of my piddly things was to get the air tubes partly operational. That's right, Cascade. But they're not fully operational yet because I had to special order these 6-inch tubes. No one around here carries them. I special ordered them and they came into Odessa, Texas, 210 miles from here, where they couldn't ship it to me for less than $55. So I have several things to pick up in Odessa, and I'll get the tubes. Now when I get the tubes, they'll extend onto this and they'll run up to the, one will run up to the ceiling, that'll be the intake, and then the exhaust will run somewhere out here, and I'm not really sure, but I don't have enough of the air tubes anyway, of the tubing rather, to finish it. But I do have enough to get the temperature in here. And I got to tell you, I was in a couple of the videos earlier talking about air tubes. I was saying that they don't, consensus was they don't work real good. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you, they really do work good. Now it's cold outside. It's 70, well, it just went down. It's 72, let's say, right here in this corner of the greenhouse. The air is, the 72-degree air is being sucked in by the fan right there and blown through 110 feet of tubing, and it's coming out at right now 62.6 degrees. What it's doing is it's coming out 10 degrees, a 10 degree or 12 degree differential. Now I say differential because right now it's coming out cooler, but last night when I shut everything down for the night, because we're having battery issues, so I have to turn off much of the stuff at night. But last night the temperature outside was 41 and it was blowing out at 56. So it's doing its job, but it's only one 6-inch air tube in this in this big place. Hopefully the air tube will give me that little bit. It's just that little bit extra you need to keep things from getting frostbitten, because, and I'm going to walk over here to the potatoes. These are Peruvian potatoes. They're Peruvian purple potatoes. And you can see that a couple of the plants got bit by the cold. Of course, you see that gap in the, there that I have to address. And also one of my vines for the squash got burned. And let's turn around here. You look carefully up at the tomatoes near the ceiling, you'll see they got burned just a little bit. So we do have a solution, and it's something actually I could use some help with. If somebody out there has one of those turkey fryers like everybody uses, and you see on TV, this time of year, every year, where someone gets burned or they explode. If someone has one of those turkey fryers with a good sturdy stand, what I'm going to do with it is set it up right here. There's a spot there you can't really see with the vines, but I can move the vines. I'm going to set it up right there, and I'm going to put this core to a gas hot water heater on top of it. Boy, that was a mistake. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but this is the core that I'm going to use. The exhaust comes up through the center, so you have a water jacket here, and then underneath we would set that right on top of that turkey fryer heating element. It would heat the water. You have the intake here, and of course the outflow here, and also down there, and I've got a way of plumbing it that'll take 10 minutes to explain. However, just by putting that there, that will heat. Let's get out of here. So by putting that core on top of the turkey fryer here, it'll do two things. When the turkey fryer is on, I'd have it on low, I wouldn't have it on high. It'll be heating the water in the tank, the 40 gallons of water, as well as all the air around it, but it isn't exhausting combustion air, or it isn't exhausting the exhaust out into the atmosphere. It's keeping the heat from the exhaust here in the greenhouse, which will further heat the greenhouse, because if you look there, The campground, which is a tropical plant, got badly burned by the 24-degree temperature we had. It wasn't 24 in here. And then I'll just have the water flow coming in either slowly or not at all, and I'll manually dump the 40 gallons of hot water directly in here because, and let's back up, my breeder tilapia are in that pond. The main group of tilapia are in this pond. There's our temperature, and what happens is they don't like to eat when the temperature of the water goes below 60, and they will die when it goes below 50. Now it says 54 now, which is dangerous, but it will come up to about 58 by, or 59 even, by sunset. But if I have that turkey fryer working in that way, then then I can raise the water temperature up to 60 or better. I'd like to keep it at 70. I don't mind having to get the propane for this in the winter. So if anyone out there's got one of those turkey fryers, I could sure use it, because right now we are going to be starting 2020 at a $700 deficit, and that's a shame, but that's just the breaks. Let's move on a little. So back behind the camera, and there's Sarah, the world's ugliest Chihuahua. Actually, she's a Chiweenie, a dachshund in Chihuahua. But at any rate, it's time to finish this wall and the turret. I started the turret and then had to stop it for a couple of years. But it's time now. Have to get the cinder block to run the cinder block around just this little section here. Once the cinder block's in, I can start with, we're going to put stick walls in, 2x6 walls on top of the cinder block all the way around, and we're going to veneer the outside with the rock. And there's more to it than that, and we'll cover that when I actually do the video. The reason for that is because of this muscular dystrophy issue of mine. I have to try to limit as much of this heavy work as I do. And on that topic, guys, my legs have been responding to exercise. They've actually gotten stronger recently, and I'm able to do quite a bit more. Maybe it's the cold, but you know, the exercise we've been doing and the extra walking I'm doing with the campground being out there, so my legs have responded. So I'm ready to get up and do some stuff. Again, I just have to keep these depressing weirdos from coming here to visit. I know I need depressing weirdos to come out here because we have to impress upon them the need for a sustainable lifestyle. What's coming with man-made climate disruption is going to come slowly, but it's going to come steadily, and it's going to be quite harmful. Coastal regions and also the central areas near the rivers, and now the fires in California, not only California, Australia. Australia's had for 2 days in a row their hottest temperature. I don't know what today's going to be. But we have to deal with that, and I know there's going to be some people out there, and I occasionally get somebody that tries to post something about there's no such thing as man-made climate disruption. And in a face-to-face conversation, there won't be one, because I'm just not going to listen to anybody that wants to say things like that. But here, if you come here and you're listening, you say, well, I don't believe 97% of the climate scientists, nor do I believe what I can see with my own eyes. There's no such thing as climate change. Fine. Put that aside, agree to disagree on that point. Let's go to the Ed Begley Jr. approach. I'm showing you things here that will save you money. And saving money is something we can all agree on. So that's one reason to come here and listen to what we're saying, and then just tune out if you don't like man-made climate disruption. I love Dave Ramsey. I love to hear what he has to say. But Dave Ramsey is a little overly religious for me. I just tune out that part, but I listen to the stuff that I feel is really important. If you don't want to follow man-made climate disruption or anything else that would fall in the lines of liberal politics, I won't say a lot of that. Just agree to disagree, and let's try to save money on some of the things we're doing here. That greenhouse, I can't even begin to tell you how much money in food it's saving. Now, it's got to save a lot more food because we've got about $5,000 invested in it. You can buy a lot of food for $5 grand. But I got $20,000 invested in our solar system, our alternative energy system. I've got about, actually it's $23,000 is invested in it. The break-even was 6.5 years. It's been operational for 8 years, so I've been actually putting money in the bank, if I could, for, what did I say, a year and a half? Yeah. Now it's time to buy new batteries, or a new battery, so that's going to take some of those savings away, but I'll still be saving money. We'll agree on saving money. How's that sound? And finally, guys, we're out here with the campground behind me. There's a saying we had in the automobile business, and it applies to almost anything that you do, and that is, the harder I work, the luckier I get. No doubt that Debbie and I have worked very hard all these years, and we seem to get lucky. We have little points like right now when money is just a horrible issue to us. And we're going to have the ups and downs. We're going to get the turd that comes in here and messes with my mood. Those things are going to happen, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. Debbie and I have worked and worked and worked by hand, grading out the campsites here. There's now 9 campsites out here. Got the travel trailer out there. We're working on it. We have electric. We don't have running water, but we keep water there. We've got fire pits. They've got their 110-volt electricity as well as 12-volt. We've done a lot. We've got a lot going, and we worked very hard, and we were lucky enough to be named in Hip Camp, which is, if you don't know Hip Camp, go to hipcamp.com. It shows you where you can camp for places that aren't corporately owned. Now here in this area, we actually have some campgrounds, some Hip Camp campgrounds that are corporately owned. And one of those recently placed was the number 5, the 5th best campground according to Hip Camp's rating system. It was the 5th best. It's corporately owned. It's down here. A guy owns a chain of pizza parlors. Why in the world he's building campsites, I don't know. But anyway, he's got campsites and managers and bottomless pockets. He managed to get himself ranked number 5. Debbie and I, with all our hard work, got this campground here ranked number 11 in Texas. Not the top 10, but number 11 is not too bad. A lot of people would take number 11. And that's hard work. So those of you that look at some of the stuff we've done and say things like, well, you got lucky, you've got good genetics, I don't, or whatever kind of excuse you have for broadening your butt and wearing your chair out, get up. Do something. Make something happen. Even if it's one thing, make something happen. That's what we did, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I don't care if I'm ranked number 1 in the state of Texas. What I do care about is if somebody doesn't like their stay here, and that's what we're going to just continue to strive for, is that they like their stay here. You guys that watch this can come and stay. You can either pay, or you can come and you can help me work out here a little bit. And if you can't come and help us work because you live too far away, but you believe in what we're doing, I need somebody to hit that donate button, because we desperately need that turkey fryer to keep that greenhouse cold. Or warm, rather. The cold weather is coming in January. January and February are our coldest months, and I need to get that turkey fryer hot water thing up and running. We need Portland cement, and we need lots and lots and lots of great stuff expanding foam. So visit if you can, and if you can, donate something, and if you can donate and visit, that's even better. We'll look forward to having everybody come out here, and hopefully we'll get this place finished this year. I've already missed finishing the wall by the end of the year, by the end of this year. But I'm shooting for my birthday, and my birthday is May 3rd, so we're shooting to have it all done, on the outside anyway, by May 3rd. The finish work is going to take me probably 3 or 4 more years on the interior. But that's a whole nother story. For right now, I think that's the end of this vlog, guys. You're not going to see a live stream or a vlog from me until I believe it's January 6th. I'm going to take this whole retail season off just because you guys have got better things to do, like visit with your family and contemplate on what happened 2,000 years ago, not what happened on Black Friday. And until I come back on January 6th, it's Robert Earl, Cascade the Wonder Dog, all of us out here at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Educational Center saying have a very, very happy holiday season. Best wishes for the new year, and we'll see you on January 6th.